All right. Let's get into it. All right. It says we're good. It says we're good. If we're good, we're good. All right. I'll take it. Okay, let's make sure I'm not echoing. Oh, perfect. Good. I'm not echoey. That would have been... Hey! That would have been embarrassing. All right. Looks like we're good. Looks like we're ready to go. All right, people. Hello. Welcome back. We have... Whoa. Let me move some of this stuff over so I'm not knocking anything over. Whoops. Okay. If you... I just want to throw this out there. If you went and took a nap during this game, kind of a rule of thumb for some of these playoff games so far to this point, you don't need to watch the first period or the second period because it really doesn't matter. You can go take a nap, hang out a little bit, maybe cook a steak, go grilling, play video games, go do something because the game actually doesn't really start till the third period, and that has happened in all three games. Let me quit yapping here. Let's pull up some stats here. See, we got the bells and whistles back, people. We got the bells and whistles. I'm glad you guys are all here. Let me get some things queued up. Let's get some things queued up. All right, if you guys like sports, like, hockey, NHL, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you know what I realized? Hold on. Are we? Oh, no, we're good. We're good for the most part. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll turn this down maybe a smidge. All right, how we doing over here? Looks like we're good, all things considered. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. I also put in the polls too. Guys, if you have any, hey, this is who I got winning, be sure to let me know in the polls who you guys got winning out of the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights. Let's keep it rolling though. So, along with my jokes on how you could literally go do anything and then come back and then, oh, look, hey, the game's starting to heat up a little bit. Here's why I make that joke. Because this and what we witnessed today with this game alone. The first period was kind of a snoozer. It was a defensive slugfest where just both goaltenders were playing very phenomenal. They were playing really good. There's a lot to talk about with this game alone too, because I might make a video, I might not. There's conversations the announcers were kind of talking about where it's like, well, do we have Bussy win or lose, play another game? And it's like, maybe. I think giving Anderson the rest was good, plus both teams, they've played 3 games in 5 days. Yes. Because they did game, off, game. And so they're not going to have another game for a couple days, which they didn't do that break rest day in between travel days. Usually you play a game, rest, play a game, travel, rest, and then play a game, no matter how, but they didn't. They just jumped right into it. Versus you look at the NBA where the Spurs and the Knicks played the other day, and their game 1 isn't tomorrow, it's going to be Monday. And so, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, all right, let's get into it. So, Thomas Heedle started with the power play. He was the first goal that stayed on the board. Now, one thing that I said in my stream the other time is I said there's one thing going into this new game for Vegas, and I used the term Vegas is going to walk the dog. Now, I don't know if there was a little bit of a double meaning in that, or yes, Vegas walks the dog because they got comfy and then they let the dog start to walk around as if it was a Sunday stroll or something, because, they look at the goals, man. They let Carolina get back into this. The way I was meaning it is I had a feeling this game would be a blowout. And without the third period, yes, this game was a blowout. And the fact, too, people are going to talk. I don't think they talk about it too much because Vegas won tonight. So there's kind of a puck don't lie moment in that sense of, yeah, Vegas won with even all the goals that were taken off the board. It was only 2. But the first one, I'm not going to lie, it was right on the blue line. It was an offsides call, and so it's like, okay, all right. So there's that one. The second one, though, with Barbashev, when he came across the blue into Anderson's little goalie circle, half circle thing, and hit him, that one I totally agree with. The offsides one, I mean, yes, but it wasn't as clear-cut, blatant as, well, you got a defender to know, like, nobody's pushing him in, because that was the other thing about Svechnikov's goal here on the power play is he, not Svechnikov, Ehlers ended up in the net too, like with the puck just sitting there, because somebody came in and just rammed him right into the goal, and there was a lot of commotion in front of the goal, which we can get to that and my thoughts on that when we get there, because this game would have been over maybe an hour and a half ago if Vegas didn't unplug their controller for literally 30 seconds. 7:03, 7:29, 7:42. All of these goals happened within 30 seconds of each. Like, it was like, what the frick is going on? It was very entertaining. So the first goal called off for the offsides. Second goal called back because Barbashev got caught, whacking Anderson, crossing going along the crease. Totally okay with those. Now we head to the second period. There was kind of a feeling of, okay, maybe this could be a low-scoring game, because that's something that people have been talking about and calling for this whole series of, hey, this is going to be low-scoring series. This series is going to be entertaining, but, I mean, it's going to be 2-1 every single game or something like that, which very incorrect. But, so here we go. Yeah, Hedel starts it off with a power play goal, and then this turned into Mitch Marner's quarter, where he, I believe, set a record for the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup final history, which I made a meme about it, where, the second that Mitch Marner leaves the freaking leaves the Leafs, he turns into, just a different animal. And I made the meme with Wolverine and all that. But here's the thing. This one, his last one, the hat trick one, was the most impressive one, because he pulled up from about 10 to 12 feet away and just shot it, and it ricocheted off the glove blocker of Anderson, and then went pull in. But that first one, here's the thing. Two of Vegas's goals tonight were own goals to the fault of the Carolina Hurricanes. One of them was credited for Mitch Marner. So if you want to be like a hockey purist, the only thing that I can see people if they really want to get into the nitty gritty and be like, well, he didn't technically, this would be the game. And honestly, that's the only blemish, because the other 2 goals, pretty clean, pretty solid. And I mean, yeah, he threw it on net and then deflected weird and went in. So, all right, the next thing, so he had his 3 goals, okay, and then by the time, because again, it all happened so quick, 10 minutes, 14 minutes, 60 minutes, these 2 were back to back, because again, with this own goal, there was kind of a weird, okay, it's 2-0, should be 4-0, kind of, but then his back-to-backs. This one, me personally, I thought it was the coolest one, because the other thing too is Marner could have had more goals in this game alone and in this period alone, because he did have a breakaway. There was a breakaway where Anderson had a great save. Bussy also had the penalty shot save as well, but yeah, I can't remember who threw it in. But he just had a breakaway 1-on-1, and then he saved it. And then one of those breakaways, though, I believe did turn into this goal, because he deflected it away, and then it scrolled back. Okay, and then we get to the Martinet goal, the Taylor Hall goal, the Jordan Stahl goal, and the Svechnikov goal. Again, these are some weird goals. I don't know what to say other than like the fact that like the game was not entertaining to that point because it was 4-0. Vegas was just dominating. Carolina here. Let me go pull up if I can pull up. Here, let's see. Let's try to pull up something here if we can. Okay, good thing that's muted. We'll wait for that to load. While we wait for it to load, I'll take a little swig and let me check the comments. How you guys doing? How we doing, people? Hurricanes better not lose this series. Just a lucky win for Vegas. I will always hate them. No, this was. I think, all things considered, I think they're lucky that they held on to the comeback here. Okay, here we go. Let's pull some things up. Again, I'm going to be quick on the... Alright, here we go. How did this one... I don't... Okay, so here's the first goal. So again, it's 4-0. Shots on goal clearly favor Vegas because it's 21-13. Okay, and then we... just one goal. It's just one goal. Okay. This was the same thing that was the problem in Game 2. Now that I think actually come to think about it, which that's another thing I said. I said Vegas isn't going to blow another lead. That aged like milk. Because, okay, it's 4-1. There's 13 minutes left to go in the game. Okay. So then we have a little bit of a goal. And the other thing, too, is they start to get chippy here. It didn't show it. But he scores a goal. Again, good steal. All this was set up, and then he throws it in. Which again, like look at the advantage here. You got two guys, and just play whack-a-shack here, right in front of the net. Okay, and clean up, and then yeah, these two started a fight. There was a little bit of a brawl. I will say, all things considered, like there hasn't been any fight. What like. Hey, let's throw down, let's drop the gloves and scrap for a little bit. Haven't seen any of that. This Stanley Cup Finals. Like, both teams have played pretty clean, to say the least. Like, there's been scraps, but there hasn't been like okay, we are dropping the gloves. We are fighting. All right, and then, again, in the span of like 30 seconds... Vegas, they're charging their batteries. They unplugged their controller. Okay, and then... Where is it? Here we go. So, here we go. We got Aho pushing it in. Then just beautiful backhanded... I will say this. Of all the goals that Carolina scored today, this Aho one to Hall, phenomenal pass. Because again, it had to get through 1, 2, potential 3, 4 Vegas defenders who can throw a stick in between, like just get something in the way, and just he put it right on the money where only Hall can get it, and just Hall was just there to just tap it in. Here, where's the other angle of this goal? Here we go. Here's the backside. So, again, we're all the way past the red line, so we're behind the goal. It's a behind-the-goal assist, which is some of my favorites. So, yeah, we're behind the red line. Just throw it over the middle. So, there's one defender, McNabb, 2 defenders, Theodore. Here comes Stone. Stone's trailing Hall. Boom. Just a simple one-timer. Deflects off of Harton in, and now all of a sudden... we, quote, have a hockey game. Like, we did have a hockey game, but, again, what teams, excluding both Vegas and Carolina, typically, if the score is 4-2, like, yeah, kind of, the game's out of reach, especially with how slow and just uninspired the first, What's the word I'm looking for? I was about to say quarter. The first period and the second period were for Carolina. That's going to be an issue that I think they need to clean up as well. They've been playing uninspired hockey through the first two periods because in game one, when Ehlers scored those 2 goals and they went up 2-1 at that first intermission, they then proceeded to lose the game. Now, they tied it twice with Gvs-Stanley and also Stahl. But since game one, they have not held a lead. It's been comeback after comeback. They had a lead because they won game 2, but again, that was an overtime game-winning goal. Since the Ehlers goals, that made it 2-0, they have not reclaimed the lead and held the lead during regulation play. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, so we have the perfect pass to Hall. Hall nets it in. It's 4-2. If this is any old game, I'm thinking, okay, game's probably over. Okay, now, so in clock time, we've passed 20 seconds since the first goal. We can't get it out of the zone here. If that got out of the zone, this is probably not a goal. We have a good dive here, throwing it out to the top of the key. Okay, we're bringing it in, down, move ref, and then, we're throwing it towards the net, and it just redirects off a Stahl. And this all came from, hold on, let's go back to it. Right here. Effort. Big effort right here. Big assist on him because right here, I want somebody here. Oh, it's Marner. Marner fans on it. Marner fans on it to clear it. And then corralled. Here we go. We're collecting it. We're throwing it on net. Redirects off a Stahl. And holy frick, in the span of 35 seconds, it is 4-3. After what seemed, okay, this game's over. Carolina is going to go down 2-1. Let's just hope for a better game 4 so we don't go down 3-1 in the series. So those are all the goals. Okay. All right, let's see if we have, let's go to, Mitch Marner denied 4th goal penalty on penalty shot save. Marner nets a hat trick. Golden Knights score in the span of 16 seconds. Score a pair in the Canes tie in improbable fashion late in the third period. Okay, we'll wait 14 seconds to let that cue back in. So there's the Stahl. So again, we're sitting now 7 minutes into the third period, and what looked like the game was over, it's now on hand. And again, so the Marner thing too, if like the breakaways counted and all that, and the penalty, Marner has 5 goals tonight. Like, that is how crazy. He had a damn good game. He had, I think, just one look in overtime. It did not go clearly. All right, let's rewind this a little bit. Okay, so there's Svechnikov. He's awarded the goal here. So we'll chop it on in. Okay, all right. Everybody stop. Okay, here we go. So we got Stahl right here. We got Aho right here. This is Svechnikov here. So Stahl, he shoots it twice. Like, there's the first one here. Here's him gathering the second one. Boom, blocked away. Here's Svechnikov right here. And then I cannot tell who's up here. But who this person is, this must be Ehlers then, because he's going to end up in the back of the net right here. And boink, 3 seconds. See, he's down there in the back of the net. Okay. I could see a lot of people complaining and going, hey, Mr. Official, hey, ref, goalie interference. Unassisted. He was unassisted, sorry, I can't talk, into the goal. He was pushed in. You see Hart with a little jab, and there's a minute 42. Like, so the improbable has happened, which that's how crazy, this is another thing, too, about how crazy this game was. Is never has a team come back and won a Stanley Cup final game in 108 years down by 4. So down by 3, it's probably out there. but 0-4 to be able to come all the way back. Like the announcer was talking about, he said their record is 0-108, and it's like, holy shit, have we really had 108 Stanley Cup Finals? Yes, we have. So that's something interesting to think about. So the Hurricane freaking that close, because again, in the start of overtime, the ice was tilted towards the Hurricanes, but then the final 10, like let's just round up and say 10 minutes. First half here, second half there. Carolina had a lot of good shots in the first half-ish of the overtime period. There were a lot of saves. And then in the second, Vegas was starting to pressure. Carolina was lucky to just get out of it, blow the whistle and let's get going. But we know obviously what happened in OT, so okay, we're celebrating. Right here. I love this view. This is probably one of my favorite views in hockey because it is very much puck don't lie in all aspects. That's a wide open puck. Hart's not on it. And as you can see too, Hart's not looking down. Hart's looking over, because if Hart was looking down, we could see the back of his mask. Like more like this. Can you see how McNabb's kind of looking down? And we can see that Svechnikov's looking down too. Because see how Svechnikov's helmet and eye vision is like angled more down than Hart's. Hart's looking over here because you can see a stick just outside the line here. Because Ehlers is coming screaming in here. So, see, now he's looking over going, where's the puck? Because he was looking that way, and then he's like, oh, is it down? So, here's the puck. That's the first swipe on it. It's going to come through here. But then look at this. We have a defender pushing super aggressive right in, and then boom. And so then, McNabb's throwing his arm up. Like, hey, come on, And then everybody's falling over. Ref is looking, ref's pointing down like, we got a good goal. Yeah, how I feel about this goal is kind of how I felt about the Vegas challenge in game 2. Both were goals. Like, you go watch my stream reaction to the end of game 2 when Anderson was trying to corral the puck. It was a good goal. The ref blew the whistle early because he lost vision of the puck. But it's such a funny angle when it's in the net like that. Oh, boo. Okay. Anyways. Because it just, like, in real time with the aerial view. Where's the aerial view? You take the aerial view shot and, like, you play it in real time and, like, let it play out. The puck's in the back of the net by the time the whistle blows. But the ref, because he lost the puck, and they're using the intent to blow the whistle, that's why they, All right. So, miraculously, they tied it up at 4 apiece. Which I don't know if there's a record behind that, too, where it's like, hey, a team's come back from down 4 to tie a game. I don't know if that's the case, but if there ever was, that's pretty damn cool. So my only reaction to Vegas letting Carolina back into the game is just, we had a weird 30 seconds where Carolina made it a game, but then in that from goal that made it 3-4 to goal that made it 4-4, Vegas did not capitalize on the opportunities that they did have, because the other thing that happened in this third quarter as well that I've not, brought up and have neglected to mention is that Bussy came in. Now, let's go look at Bussy's stats here real quick, if we could. Okay, here we go. Bussy. As y'all can see, I'm back at Bussy's. No, okay. So, save shots allowed, 19. Goals allowed, 1. Saves, 18. Now, the stats do not lie. Bussy had a better game than Anderson. Rightfully so, which, funny enough, guys, I'm not bullshitting. You go watch the other stream. I said Anderson was going to get pulled. Go watch. Honest to goodness, I'll clip it, and in my reactionary video, I'll put it in. But the reason why I thought he'd get pulled was exactly what we saw tonight, where I thought the game would be 6-2, 5-0, 4-1, where exactly what the second period was. Some player didn't know it would be Mitch Marner, but it makes sense. But just it gets to a point where, okay, it is 5-0 at the end of the second period. It is 6-0 at the end of the second period. Anderson doesn't need to be in anymore. Let him sit, because we've seen goalies get pulled for less. Anybody remember the Western Conference last year? Oh, too soon, Brian. Too soon. But there might be some talks. Oh, look at this. Total time on ice, 45 minutes and 40 minutes. Anderson did not play well at all. Now, he did have some saves. And I will say, one of the goals was not his fault, because it was a... what's the word I'm looking for? Own goal. It was an own goal. The one where it's like, okay, yeah, it was Marner's third one. The one that, off his pad side, off the pole and in. Because him, and it's with heart too. Like, no goaltender. We're not sitting here like at the end of Game 3 or Game 4 of last year's Stanley Cup where it's like, wow, Skinner played really good, or wow, Bobrovsky played really good. Like, both goaltenders have kind of like leveled out where they're both allowing goals. So it's kind of like no one's taken over where we're pitching a shutout, which, crazy enough, I think maybe the first team that does pitch a shutout wins. Like, it might come down to that, because do I think we could have back-to-back games where we have shutouts? No. But, like, there could be a shutout game. Like, let's say Carolina shuts out Vegas next game and wins 2-0 or 3-0. Okay. That could be a game where it's like, well, they shut them out and then tied the series at 2 apiece. And then, rattled off 3 in a row from there. Something like that. You know what I mean? Where then, Game 5, Game 6 was, well, they won Game 5 4-2. They won Game 6 3-2. Something like that. So, let's see if we have the overtime. The overtime. Okay, we'll wait the 14 seconds. Shea Theodore scored at 5:38 of the second overtime, avoiding what could have been potentially devastating loss for the Golden Knights after they blew a 4-goal lead, and Vegas beat Carolina Hurricanes 5-4. Oh, I'm waiting for you know what I'm waiting for, and this is a side tangent too. I'm waiting for the Knicks. I'm waiting for the Knicks to blow their 2-0 series lead against the Spurs. I think that'd be funny as hell. All right, I haven't looked at the chat. Hold on, let me look at the chat real quick. Hold on. Let me go look at the chat. I haven't looked at the chat in a minute. Hold on. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Hello, everybody. Yeah, if you guys like sports content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for being here. This is my reaction to Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. So, here we go. Here's the overtime goal. Again, there was a wacky bounce, and it was an own goal, which was the second own goal for Carolina. I'm going to be honest. Vegas, if I were to just make a prediction, who is going to score the overtime goal? I was leaning Marner or Eichel, because Stone's come in clutch too, but it's like, when has someone ever scored back-to-back clutch? I don't know. But I was thinking it'd be Marner to have a real hat trick where it's well, he did score 4 goals, but only 3 of them were technically from, But there was that angle where, he's the hot hand right now. He scores his 4th goal, which I don't know if there's ever been a player that has scored 4 goals in a Stanley Cup final game. So I was looking at it from that angle. And then the Eichel angle is he has not like goal wise impacted as much as Heedle or oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. The dude that scored the first 2 goals in game 2 that made it 2-0. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Anyways, I don't know why I can't think of his name all of a sudden. So, and then for the Canes, I thought, because they were talking about Martinook's double overtime goal against the Senators, so I was like, it'll probably be Martinook that scores or Stahl. Again, Jarvis to score back-to-back, no. And then Aho as well. Aho has not shown up at all in the Stanley Cup final, which is pretty concerning. He needs to get himself involved in this. So I was thinking Martinook or Stahl, and funny enough, it looked like it went off of Martinook, but it didn't. So it took a weird freaking where is it? Okay, here we go. So we have a breakaway here by Marner. All right. Oh wait, what the hell? Oh wait, what the hell? Oh wait, what the hell? Oh, here we are. Here we are. This is the full game highlights. I thought this was... Okay, so we have a slap shot here. Does this go off the doink? Yes, it does. Okay, so we're over here sitting by the blue line. This must be Theodore. Yeah, that's probably Theodore. Okay, so it goes off the boards. Kind of like... was it Tage Thompson who had that weird goal that went off the boards? So it goes off the boards, and it looked... So here's Martinook right here. It looked like Martinook accidentally tried to whack it, and then it went off him, and then off a bus, and then go in. Because it's like, oh shit. And like, you can tell by the body language, like, look at how he's standing. Like, oh yeah, that's on that's on me. And he stood there for a while. But then upon watching the replay... Oh, it won't show the replay. Upon watching the replay, it goes off the boards, and then because Bussy is so far out, like if we're gonna do an aerial view, hold on, let me see if I can find an aerial view. Oh, okay, we'll go from okay. So here we have Anderson. Pretend Anderson is like creeping over here a little bit, where half of his body, let's say he split right down the right pole here. He split half and half. He is about this far away, but like, let's creep him back maybe about here. So the puck comes in, bounces off the board, and hits right off the back of his skating in. And that is exactly how Game 3 ended. Which, it's a shame. It's a freaking shame. So yeah, we got a one-timer, boink, off the board, and then off the back of his foot. It's a shame that it doesn't have the other side angle of it. Because he actually, when you watch the replay, doesn't actually hit his stick. He doesn't gather it. Alright. So then, woohoo, crowd goes wild. You know, Vegas is up 2-1. Let me see. Here we go. We'll wait on it. While we wait on it, I'm going to get some water. I'm going to check the chat. Chat, how we doing? How we doing, people? Alright, let's get back into it. Let's get back into the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome. Actually, low-key, I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that, because it's like, oh, trademark! You can't say that. Alright. Let's do... Excuse me. Did it load? Alright, here we go. Oh, what the? Dude, we're... Oh, whoa. We're all the way back in game 1. Hold on. Let me refresh. Vegas survives. Delivers. Winning goal. Okay, 14-13. Okay. Oh my gosh. Damn, I'm tired, bro. Alright, here we go. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's the angle. Let's just roll. Let's just roll it from the other side. Okay, pause. See how, so it caroms off the wall, and as it's coming in, nobody's touching it. Like, it looks like it goes off of him. It doesn't. It just kind of knuckleball, and he's sitting there, and his skate is out, and then back in the net. What a shame. What a shame. So, but I mean, it was a good game. It was a good game. Unfortunate that they lost, but it was a good game. It would have been crazy if they mounted the comeback, broke the record for largest comeback. I think it not only would it have been largest comeback in a Stanley Cup final game, I think it would have been largest comeback in like just hockey game in general. Because, you know, in fact, people, why not? Let's pull up some stats here. Largest comeback NHL history. I'd guess 5 goals. Oh yeah, 5-0. Miracle on Manchester. The largest comeback in NHL history occurred during the Stanley Cup playoffs when the Los Angeles Kings rallied from a 5-6 deficit to defeat the Oilers 5-6 in overtime. Oh, I see. Okay. And that was in 82. Largest regular season comebacks. Colorado Avalanche trailed 5-0. Montreal Canadiens trailed 5-0. Yeah, the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks became the first team in it to 3. Yes, that was, yes. Freaking, I think they also have it in overtime as well, because freaking they were when they beat the Oilers in like the 24 playoffs. Like, this is regular season. Actually, they might get their dates wrong. This might need to be a 4. Regulation win April. Well, okay, April. That's not playoffs, but okay, a little. Okay, it was probably a little higher because it was if the there was just, it was like 3-1 with like a minute to go, and then Vancouver tied it and ended up winning it. It was a crazy comeback. All right. 3-1 series deficit overcame by the Panthers. Yes, we know about that one. Okay. I was just watching, double checking some of the comebacks. Okay. All right, people. Let's go around the horn. Let's go look at some. Let's go look at the other sports. Worldwide world of sports. And we'll go look at Game 4 is a must-win for the. Oh, absolutely. If Carolina goes down 3-1, it's over. It's over. I have yet to see a team come back from a 3-1 deficit this late into the playoffs. But yes, I agree. Here we go. Come on. There we go. All right, let's look around for some news. Worst to first rankings. Which NFL teams are most likely? Oh, I did hear that. Where is it? It's going to be here. Yes, the Bears are going to move to Gary, Indiana. Well, I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's actually Gary, Indiana, but like they were talking about going to Indiana, and it's like I don't like it. If I'm being legit, I think it's stupid. I think it's like it's just why they're the Chicago Bears, not the Indiana Bears. Is dumb, but that's my own personal opinion. Is there any chance the Bears don't move to Indiana? Not likely. I've already given my reaction to Caleb Williams being the Madden cover for Madden 27. I think it's kind of funny. I think there are a handful of other quarterbacks alone that have probably qualified. I mean, you could give it to the MVP, Stafford. You could give it to the MVP runner-up, May. But again, I mean, there's a little blemish on that because he played terrible in the Super Bowl. You could give it to the Super Bowl winning quarterback, Sam Darnold. It'd be weird to do back-to-back running backs on the Madden cover, but you could have given it to Kenneth Walker. But it'd be weird because it's like, well, he's not on the Seahawks anymore, so do we Photoshop him with the Chiefs on the cover? So that's probably why. Because I said this in a stream. I think that they've probably always wanted Williams, but a kind of a hunch that I have is they probably wanted to make it a defensive player. And because he got the single sack record and won Defensive Player of the Year, they probably wanted to give it to Myles Garrett. But again, you don't just do these things overnight. You kind of plan ahead. I think Madden was told, no, he might be getting traded, so don't do that. Don't proceed forward with him. Because, I mean, hey, breaking news, Myles Garrett's the new... he's the first defender since, Richard Sherman to be on the Madden cover. And it's like, oh, he's not on the Browns anymore. So, all right. And we did talk about the Watson extension for 4 years. We did talk a little bit about the A.J. Brown drama. A.J. Brown. 10 players who could get traded away before the season deadline. Way too early look. Look at the NBA. Are the Spurs cooked? How the Knicks have slowed down Victor Wembanyama. Beating them. Well, because there was a stat. Teams, the last time a team has gone down 2-0 at home, one of them was swept, and I believe it was... Can't remember. It just popped up on my feed one time. But one of them was swept and one of them forced 6 games. I think this series could go 7. I really do. I picked it going in 6. I've also said I'm not gatekeeping who I'm predicting. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, hell yeah, I knew the Knicks would do this. I'm not a Knicks fan, so I'm not going to say that. And I'm not going to, when the Spurs even up the series at 2 apiece because they then sweep the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. I did make an offhanded remark, though, and said how funny would it be that if the away team won every single game in the playoffs, because the Knicks have been known to lose at home in the playoffs. Same with the Spurs. So I said that in an offhanded remark, and the fact that it's kind of already unraveling that way is pretty funny. But, it'd be cool for either team to win. But definitely, Spurs need to win Game 3, which I'm going to take them to win Game 3, but I think it'd be freaking crazy if if up 2-0 with the chance to sweep them and with it in Madison Square Garden, if the Knicks blow that and Spurs even it's be freaking crazy. Hey, by the way. Hey, we haven't talked about her. Hey, psst, just want to let you know I'm still here. All right, NBA futures, the Knicks, title favorites, probably. We picked comparisons, bro. Comparisons ranking the next Spurs player. Which team has more talent? I'd say Spurs. They're younger. I know that might be just like a quick without thinking about it too much. I'd say Spurs because they're younger. Versus he's been in the league a while. 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 But clearly the more talented team right now is the Knicks because they're up 2-0. All right. All right. MLB. The Dodgers. The Dodgers beat the Angels. I did see that the Reds, standing-wise, are the first team that is under 500 in this. So, yeah, where's the home and away percentage? Yep, because everybody's roughly above 500 or sitting around it. They're the first team since, like, the start of the season to drop under 500 because that division's been the best so far from what I've heard. I'll be honest, I've wanted to keep up with baseball, but with just hockey playoffs, no, I'm not going to watch baseball when we got this going on. You know, ebbs and flows. You gotta watch what's getting hot at the right time. Just like how when the hockey season starts, guess what I'm not watching when the hockey season starts? Hockey. Because I'm watching football. Hello, duh. I keep in check, but not too much. Not too much. Just I follow it enough to know that during the regular season, I know that the Avalanche were super good. The Pacific was super weak. The Penguins were winning games out of nowhere. Carolina from end to end was really good. The Olympics happened, and then from about the Olympics on is when I followed it super closely. The Canes were from top to bottom the best. There were a couple injuries that derailed a few franchises, like Matthews with the Leafs, which don't they look silly for trading Mitch Marner. Hughes, of course, getting traded to Minnesota. That's all I can think of so far. Here we go. Vasilevsky. Yeah, we can talk about this. Lightning's Andrei Vasilevsky wins the second Vezina trophy. Is it Vezina or Vezina? I don't know. I think, like, stat-wise, goalies, it could have been anybody. Like, for hell's sakes, the goalies that are in the Stanley Cup final right now didn't play, and this is a record for them. They, like, here, let me, if I can pull up the stats, I think it'll show me regular season starts. Regular season. You know what? I'm actually surprised that Vasilevsky got it and not Wedgwood. All things considered, it probably should have gone to Wedgwood. Oh, look at that. Wins. Yeah, 39 wins. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. Where is complete leaders? Games played. Okay. Bussy, 39. Okay. Where? Hey, anybody? 34. Schmid with 34. Anderson with 35. Because they were talking about for game 2 when they were talking about, because they brought up the stat that Anderson did not have a good regular season. It was Bussy that played the majority of the way. And then then these two didn't even play the most games. It was Schmid. Where'd he go? He was right here. So, like, the fact that he's right there. So the fact that, like, the starting goalkeepers in the Stanley Cup final weren't even the starters during the regular season. They were kind of backups because they were playing bad, or I think Hill got injured, but also wasn't playing too good this season. Like, I think that's crazy. Because you take like, let's go with Tampa's backup. Tampa's backup? No, Tampa's not going to the Stanley Cup final. Let's go look at the playoff bracket. Um, the only team with like their backup goalie that could go the distance. So Sabres, Bruins, no. Lightning, Canadians, no. Hurricanes, Senators, no. Penguins, Flyers, no. Um, Oilers, Ducks, no. Golden Knights, clearly yes. Stars, Wild, no. And then Avalanche, yes. Because Blackwood is a good goalie, even though Wedgwood was the starter for the majority of the games. Yeah, because even the Wild against the Avalanche in this series alone, the Wild were switching back and forth between goalies. And I don't. Shit, I'm tired. I don't even remember who the Canadians' backup goalie is. But then the Flyers got there because of Vladar playing well. The Penguins got as far as they did because of Stewie. Senators with Olmark. So to have a tandem of goalkeepers to keep on hand that play well, like, that is a luxury that not every single team can afford. Because even with the Stars' main man, Ottinger, they lost the series 4-2. Now, the other thing, too, with the Stars, I'll have to do a deep dive analysis into this series because I didn't follow this series as close. Like, if I'm being completely honest, the series that I feel like I followed the most in the first round on the Western Conference side, this one. Because I was like, the Kings are going to get the Avalanche. They'll win at least 2. That did not happen. But then I ended up following this one and this one more because Mammoth, there's a shift. There is literally a shift where the Mammoth are minutes away from taking a 3-1 lead and beating Vegas. And they lose. Vegas ties it, wins the game. Series is even at 2 apiece. And then Vegas rattles off 2 more wins and beats Utah to move on. So Vegas literally, I don't think they would have lost to Utah as a whole. Like, with it being Utah's first time in the postseason, they'd be like, oh, what a time to blow a 3-1 lead. But either they were gonna go down. Let's dive into it. It was game 4. It was game 5. No, it was game 5. My bad. It's game 5. Game 5. It was this goal right here. 1907. So not a 3-1 lead, but they would have gone down 3-2. They had gone down 3-2 to Utah. Which it didn't matter because in both this Utah series and the Anaheim series, the second Vegas won game 5. Whoa, no, wrong one. The second that Vegas won game 5, guess what? They won game 5 and then proceeded to win game 6 in a blowout. Blowout 5-1. Check the tape. Let's go here. Oh, what was game 6? Oh, blowout 5-1. So, why am I bringing this up? Truthfully, I don't even remember. Oh, it was because I didn't watch this series as much as I watched the other ones. Because again, I'm able to pull out random stats like, oh yeah. Go look at that. Go look at the game 5s. You know, because, and then this one. The other reason why I had a feeling that the Ducks could win this series too, I will admit, I picked the Oilers. My pick was Avalanche, Stars, Vegas, Oilers, Vegas, and then the Stars, and then the Stars against Vegas, and then the Stars. The reason why I felt like the Ducks could beat the Oilers is because the Oilers' goalkeeping it's not Picard and Skinner that got them to the Stanley Cup final last year. And I was looking at that. But then also in the Pacific alone, the Ducks were leading at one point, and they were taking care of business, beating Vegas, beating Edmonton, which in fact, while we're here, I want to go look at. Let's go look at standings. I want to go look at the 8-game skid that got Cassidy fired from Vegas. Shall we? Hello, Roz. Can we play that again in slow motion? All right, here we go. There's a skid right there around December. There's 5 in a row. There's another 5 in a row. There's 6 out of 7. That's March. Okay, then it must have been... Because when did... It must have been right around here-ish. Because didn't... It must have been this skid right here. From Buffalo to Washington. Because the other thing, too, was... When Tortorella came in, they didn't lose in regulation. Okay, so that math kind of checks out. And it was also after... It was after the Olympics, so we're sitting here... Wait. Sorry, some of my stats are cut off. Here we go. So we're sitting after the Olympics, but then before the end... So we're sitting somewhere in here where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Losing 9 out of 12. Or 13, 14, 15. 12 out of 15. Losing 12 out of 15. So, I mean, yeah, it's freaking crazy. It's so freaking crazy. Yeah, they were bad. They were bad. And in all these losses that Vegas had, did the standings change? Nope. Because guess who else was doing really bad also in that division? Where are they? Ding, ding, ding. The Oilers. The King. Because, like, dude, look at this division. I look at this division now. This is such a freaking weak division. Versus, okay, during the regular season, all three of them, like, you know, the 3-headed dragon meme? It's like these are all the serious ones and then goofy. But they're not goofy anymore because they're up 2-1. But the Metro was solid this year too. But then again, the Atlantic... Dude, the Atlantic was a freaking joke. Because again, you had the Red Wings miss the playoff for the 10th year in a row. Florida Panthers being nowhere. The Leafs being nowhere. And again, in my preseason prediction, playoff team. Borderline, I don't think I actually had them going to the playoffs. But playoff team. I think board or playoff team. And then playoff team, board or playoff team. I think I had board or playoff team. And then playoff team. I think. All of those added up probably made 8. I don't know. Alright, people. Should we end the stream? I think we should. I think we should call it a night. Yeah, let me end this one. Hold on. Let me do... Alright, people, yeah, it's been an hour, so we'll end that side. Alright, people. Thank y'all for hanging out. See y'all in the next one. Sweet. Okay, and that one.